Are you a highly sensitive person or consider yourself to be an empath? Perhaps you've just awakened to your sensitivity in a whole new way and feel confused, overwhelmed, or misunderstood in this world. If this sounds like you, stay tuned because in this video, I'm going to share some tips and techniques that are going to get you started on your healing journey as a highly sensitive soul in this world. Hey everybody, if you're new to my channel, my name is Jesse Prejean, and I guide highly sensitive souls on their awakening journeys to help them live more empowered, purposeful, and authentic lives. So before I really get into the tips and techniques and how to use them on your healing journey, I want to share a couple of things that are really important to note about being a highly sensitive soul or empath. The first thing is that you're not really living in a world that is designed to support your level of sensitivity. Unfortunately, this world is designed on keeping people in survival mode and not really creating opportunities for us to go inward, to look inward, to understand ourselves on the soul level. Especially if we're highly sensitive, we need more of that in our lives to be able to feel like we can thrive. So that's the first thing I want you to kind of understand. The second thing is that it's okay to feel like you don't fit in. And this kind of goes back to that other point in that this world is not designed for the highly sensitive soul. So, of course, we're going to feel different. Of course, we're going to feel like an outcast. But there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean you're broken. In fact, I believe it means that you're here to create a new way of being outside of the confines of this current system. So, the first tip or technique that I can suggest to help you on your healing journey as a highly sensitive soul is to build or create a meditation practice, some practice that's going to help you tune into your being, tune into your energy, help you slow down, help to quiet the noise of this crazy, chaotic world that we live in because highly sensitive people tend to get really overstimulated really easily. So you're going to want to start to develop a practice where you just sit with yourself, and it can be really simple at first. Take a couple of minutes, 3 minutes a day, where you just find a place undisturbed, no distractions, and just sit with yourself for a while. This is really going to help you start to tune into yourself and give you a chance to learn how to regulate your nervous system. The second technique I want to share with you is something I call emotional journaling. Now, this is very different than your typical journaling where you just kind of share your thoughts or what happened throughout your day. You're going to want to use this type of journaling to hone in specifically to the emotional body, to what you're feeling, good, bad, in between. You're going to want to start to do this regularly because you want to develop a sense of emotional attunement to yourself, which is something that highly sensitive souls really struggle with. Generally, we're attuned to the outside world. We're highly attuned to the needs and emotions and energies of other people that we often don't give ourselves that same level of attunement. So get yourself a journal, dedicate one particular journal, make sure it's a soothing color, a color that you like, some color that relates to emotions to you. I would recommend perhaps like a blue color, and start using this daily whenever you're feeling, especially whenever you're feeling heavy, dense emotions and you're not sure what's going on, you want to break out this journal and get specifically into the feelings and write from the feeling itself. The third thing I would suggest on your healing journey as a highly sensitive soul is to seek out an energy healer, someone who's certified, a professional energy worker, maybe someone who's a professional Reiki healer, and start to see them for regular work. The reason I suggest this is because our high sensitivity allows us to really benefit from gentler forms of therapy, such as Reiki and forms of energy healing. Not to mention, I would highly recommend as well, if you feel called to it, to seek out a training or some type of certification in a modality of energy healing for yourself so that you can have this as a tool in your back pocket to help you clear out energy, to help you self soothe. And Reiki and all these other modalities are really great at helping clear the clutter for deeper trapped emotions that we may have unprocessed that are getting in the way of our healing. Another thing that I highly, highly suggest on your healing journey as a highly sensitive soul is to find and connect with other highly sensitive souls in your community or online, or find some container where you can be with other people who are on the same journey, who really understand you on the soul level, who knows what it's like to go through the struggles and challenges of being highly sensitive, so that you can find a place where you feel seen, you feel nurtured, you feel cared for, and you can be supported in your healing journey. So, the last thing I want to share with you as far as supporting yourself on your healing journey, and I'll say this is a very important one because this can start to be one of those small things that add up to bigger long term habits and how you care for yourself as a highly sensitive soul. And that is listening to yourself, listening to what your intuition is saying, listen to what your body is saying, recognizing your limitations in situations. Because, like I said, as highly sensitive people, we do have to be much more gentle with ourselves than perhaps your average person. We can get triggered, we can go into fight or flight more easily than most people, so we need to do things that support that. And what that can look like is really taking stock of what's going on in your life. What activities do you do that maybe you're spending too much time doing that are actually draining you rather than, giving you energy? What are some relationships that might be not serving your sensitivity that you maybe need to have better boundaries around? Or, is the job you're in actually supporting your sensitivity? Are you working more than you would like to? Are you in an environment that supports your sensitivity or not? So it's important to start to think about this and really honoring and trusting what your intuitive self says you need, and listening to that inner voice and taking action from that place. So, as someone who is a highly sensitive soul, someone who has awakened to their sensitivity, it's really important, if you want to heal, if you choose to go down this path, that you start building a framework that supports your sensitivity. So, with these tools and techniques that I'm offering you, you'll want to start using them and building some consistency around them so that you start to recognize what it feels like to start thriving in your sensitivity, to no longer be living in survival mode or from these dysfunctions that often come with highly sensitive souls. And take it from me, my personal experience, it has absorbed quite a bit of time and energy and resources for me to overcome these challenges, for me to heal, for me to become empowered, feeling more authentic, feeling like it's safe to be a highly sensitive soul in this world. And for a long time, I never felt that way. So, really focusing in and really honing in on what you need right now just to get started, just to get moving forward. How are you going to commit to taking this route for your betterment so you can feel better in your life? That's what it's really all about. We want to feel good in our sensitivity, regardless of whether we, put our gift of sensitivity to use. First and foremost, I think it's important that we feel good in our bodies, we feel good in our spirit, and that we can show up as our true sensitive self in this world. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you got something out of it. And if you do enjoy this content, please subscribe to my channel. You can also go and check out the description below where you can find me on my social media pages. And also, if you're looking for that added support in your life, You can learn how to work with me one on one as your spiritual coach and guide on your awakening journey as a highly sensitive soul. I'll leave that link down in the description. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. Thanks for being a part of my channel, and I'll share some more content hopefully soon. Bye.